Morning, good morning, good morning, everybody.
Hold on.
Okay, I just do it just because I always miss it. No
Wait,
matter how many times y'all tell me.
right. So we'll see the notification that we're live on Facebook, and then you can start welcoming the people.
It's like double dutch. I'm waiting for it to come.
It's a little slow.
I'll say that. Live stream. That's what I have to look for.
There you go.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. How y'all doing, Facebook? Thank you so much for joining us. I see Zoom coming in. Good morning. Welcome to Mother and Daughter Tings, Part 3. Thank you for rocking with us thus far, especially those of you who've been here since part 1. We're going to try to wrap this up today before I send Asha Rachelle Malivers to college. What will you need? Open heart, open mind, and something to write with. We're going to do a few writing exercises. I hope everybody did their homework. Remember last time we had homework. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Martine. How you doing this morning? Good morning, Asha. How you doing, young lady?
Great. Good morning, Zuhura. I hope I said that
Good
right.
morning, Martine and Asia. How y'all doing, beautiful ladies, young ladies?
Good morning. Hey, Valencia. Valencia here. She want the juice. You about to get the rest of it, Valencia.
Okay, Montezan.
Good morning, Veronica, LaShonda. Who else we have in here?
LaShonda.
Good morning.
You can take the girl out of New York, but you can't take New York out the girl.
You sure can. If y'all here like, say water. Say talk.
That was me in college. Like, y'all say A instead of ERs. Don't be mad.
I hope everybody is well this morning. Welcome, welcome. Mommy and Daughter Things Part 3.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Martine Lissa Malivers here, aka the Change Maker. Forever walking in my purpose with the Woo family, which is to gain consensus in identifying toxic norms and replacing them with healthy new norms for the betterment of society. I'm also a registered nurse at the #1 heart center in the nation, the #2 children's hospital here in Houston, Texas. I'm a research nurse there. I used to be a pediatric home health nurse. The children are our future. I'm very passionate about them. I have one of my own.
Good morning.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Asha Rachelle Malivers. I'm an artist, a singer, a dancer, an aspiring psychiatric nurse practitioner, a future Prairie View A&M University alumni, and a change maker.
That's a lot of things. That's a lot of things. And we are coming to you today with our story. You can look at the pictures of our journey. Look how fine I used to be, y'all. I was cute. But yes, we wanted to come and share our story with you. The last couple years, maybe last 3 years even, were really, 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 really rough for us. There was a point in time where I thought it was just hopeless and I just didn't want to be a mom anymore. I was like, forget it. And I know somebody in here can relate. I didn't have the best relationship with my mom. So, this is a cycle that I want to break. And we want to share our story with you in case you're going through it, to know that you're not alone. A lot of people go through this. One of the things that I was sharing earlier with the admin team is that I was surprised that 25% of people not only did this, but admitted to having a violent moment with their mother. And sometimes that was defensively. I would like to hear from somebody who maybe it was offensively also, because it happens and they're not proud moments. And we're always taught that we have to honor our parents and give them the utmost respect. But sometimes us as parents, we don't honor our children. And we put them through traumatic experiences. And then when they react or show a trauma response, we don't know how to handle it, or we fault them. So we just want to open up communication and bridge some gaps and just better the relationships, not only between mother and daughter. I called it mommy and daughter things because I have a daughter, but also with our sons, just with our children in general. So we thank you for being open. Again, we're requesting a judgment-free zone. There may be some things that trigger you in this session. Like I always say, look for those squares and reach out to each other, check in with each other and make sure that we're okay. And then 2, open your mouths, you know that this is a space for healing. If you need support, definitely let us know. And then 2, if you need to log off, sometimes that's what you need to do. And you can just, when you get yourself together, come back and watch the playback. But I am pretty sure that we make this a safe enough space where nobody feels like they have to do that. And we can go to the next slide, admin. So in true change maker fashion, I always have my toxic norm on the left side and the change I would like to see on the right side. We went over this last time. Asha, you want to read the slide? The toxic norm is?
The toxic norm is teenage cell phone addiction is an underaddressed public health concern that affects teenage girls at higher rates than boys and can lead to violence and even murder. And then the change is parental awareness of the broader issue, as well as awareness of their children's cell phone activity and attachment levels. And then the second bullet point says parental accountability. And the third one says initiative to educate and implement preventative measures.
Okay. So I don't know how many of you are aware of that, but there have been, thankfully, not an enormous amount, but even one is enough. There have been cases where teenage girls have been led to murdering whoever, not only a parent, but whoever the authority figure was that was stopping them from having their cell phone. And we know that that's a common punishment. It's definitely one that I use because it's quite effective to take the cell phone away. So just want to be aware of that. And at this point, you can take this slide down. We're going to continue on where we left off. You can take them down. We're going to continue with where we left off last time. We were talking about the chicken. I don't know if anybody remembers, but just to give it some context, Asha many times has made me feel that she does not care about what I'm saying. If her friends are in the picture, she definitely prioritizes them over whatever I'm asking of her. And this definitely shows up when I give her small tasks like order some food, go pick something up, go get something from the kitchen, things like that. If I ask her for 3 things, she'll come back with 2. If I ask her for a burger and fries, she'll come back with just a burger. So it just came to a head one day. I was really upset. There was a lot of things that happened leading up until that point, and I was trying to use a different style of parenting where I'm listening to her, I'm letting her express herself instead of, severe punishments. I was sitting and talking it out. And, I'm Haitian. And Haitian people, they don't play that. And my mother would give me the side eye like, you should have knocked the head off. And not really, because my mother, I can count how many times she put hands on us, but she definitely doesn't do the talking or discussing of things. It's what I say goes, you put forth a punishment and that's it. And I started to think, maybe she's right, because this is not working. And I took her phone away as a result. I went through the phone and I saw some really, a lot of things that I did not want to see. Conversations that she was having, things that she was doing that she wasn't supposed to, places she was going where she wasn't supposed to go. She was supposed to be here, but she was there. She told me she was going to a friend's house, and then she ended up going to some party. It was just a million things. And so I took that phone away. She was punished. But in true Asha Rachelle Malivers style, she's going to find a way, because she needs to have her phone. And not only her phone, because sometimes, especially when, with her activities and everything, she needs a phone. So I have an Android. I would give her the Android. So it was not that she was phoneless. It was that she's iPhoneless. That's very important. And it's something that she doesn't readily receive today, that she's addicted to her iPhone.
Because I feel like addicted is such a strong word.
It's such a strong word.
It's strong.
Because when you hear the word addiction, what do you think of?
Like drugs.
Drugs. But there's a lot of other things you can be addicted to. Addiction is not only associated with drugs. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. So after
I just wanted to play.
I do. Okay, so I'm gonna play a recording, and it's gonna be triggering. It's triggering for me to hear still. So
go ahead.
Just beware. But I don't want to tell them what it's about.
Okay, so about to share computer.
Okay, and while you all are doing that, I just want to say, Asha, you wouldn't do well with a flip phone. Ain't no special features on there. Nothing. It's just a call home and then hang up.
No, I can't have no flip phone. I need my iPhone so I can, take pictures of myself.
Yes, all the things.
All that.
She had a whole Android smartphone, and she says that is not a smartphone. Right. There's nothing smart about an Android.
Oh, no. We don't want to start that debate on here, the Androids versus the iPhone. You got it queued up? I'm good.
Yep. I'm about to play it. This, like I said before,
just give us a thumbs up if you can let us know that you can hear it.
It's triggering. And there might be cursing. I'm not sure.
Might be.
Well, I don't know how long I'm gonna play it for, Okay.
Crazy because I'm doing something fucking crazy. Every time I tell somebody what's happening, wow, are you living in a movie? Wow, I can't believe your mom would do that. Wow, yeah, wow. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. This is not caring. Sending me away by myself in a place that I don't know, with people that I don't know, that's not love. This is hurting me. This is eating me up inside. I just got a boyfriend. I just did all that stuff like I did, and I can't do none of that. On the 16th, it'll be a month of nothing. I haven't got to know him, nothing. Everything is eating me up. I don't even like him anymore because I haven't talked to him for 3 weeks. But I want to. Everything.
Okay. That's all I can handle.
Before she starts, let me let y'all know too, as a mother going through this episode, this is a child who, if she drops something and says, oh shit, she's like, oh my God, mommy, I'm so sorry. She cusses, but she refuses to cuss in front of me. Like she doesn't. Even at 18, she doesn't. So this was extremely out of character. But
So that audio was me in the car with my mom on the way to New York to go live with my dad. My dad that has not been active in my life at all. And I was just going through a lot of emotions. I really wanted to take my iPhone with me, but she was not letting me. So I was mainly upset about that. And I was upset because I was about to go live with somebody that I don't know in a place that I was not familiar with. And it was just on such short notice. Like I did not want to be there. But how did we get to that point? So after my mom took my phone over the chicken situation, literally that day I took my old phone and I started using it, and I thought it was cool. I was like, yes, back in business. She can't get me that easily. But that was not the case. I came home from work one day and she was like, where's the iPhone 8? Because I gave her that iPhone after I got my new phone because she was always complaining about her phone. So I gave her that phone. And so she was logged into it. But then when I logged her out, she got a notification. So the plan really backfired.
so hold on. I took her iPhone away. So I have her iPhone. She took an old iPhone and started using that. And so I got the notification that that there was login activity on her iPhone that I took away, so that you guys understand. Go ahead. I just want to clear that up.
But she asked me about it, and like I lied, denied. But
so this is an iPhone that was in my possession, and I'm like, where is it? You must have it, because this iPhone is telling me that you logged in. And she thought she was having me to believe that I was just going crazy. It was somewhere in my messy room.
Yeah. So then I don't remember what had happened. I don't remember what day it was, but one day because I used to hide it in my closet. So like I hid it under my clothes, and then a video started playing or something like that. She had went in my room and like she like asked me, she was like, "Oh, Asha, I need to go in your room for something." I was like, "Yeah, go inside." Da, da, da. I thought I had it under control, and then the video started playing, and she heard it and she found it, and that was it. Like it was like yelling and screaming and just like, because it's like, what's the word? Not like betrayal, but like really like I lied straight to her face.
She lied so much. She really would, like, if I believed her, I would think that I was crazy because I could not find the phone anywhere. And when I went in her room, I heard talking and it just all clicked. Like that forget women's intuition, mom's intuition. I was like, I know this phone is in here somewhere. And I was in her closet like this, like in the movies, just trying to find the phone, and there it was. I think it was in your laundry basket. You hid it in the laundry basket or something.
But yeah, so after that, that's when it was brought up. Like she was like, like you're just like your dad. Da, 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 da. How about you just go live with him? And then like everything that cause like sometimes like you don't be going through with like your punishment, so you just be saying stuff and you don't actually be doing it. So like I was like, she's just saying that to like scare me or like make me act right, like she's not really gonna send me there. No, you really sent me there, and that caused a lot of problems. That's when we got the first physical altercation, right? That was like the fight when grandma had to jump in, right?
The physical altercations happened before
I left. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You threatened to send me there.
Oh, it was after I threatened to send you there. Now that part I don't remember, but yeah, there was a few physical altercations.
And it was really, really, really bad. So then I really, really didn't want to go. I was trying to make arrangements with my grandma. Like my grandma, she had told me that she was gonna sign off for me and like I was gonna be able to get to live with her and all this stuff. But then I have told my mom, and then my mom asked my grandpa about it, and my grandpa was like, no, like grandma did not say that. Like she doesn't want to keep Asha, blah, 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 blah. And then my grandpa, he doesn't really like speak the best English. So like a lot of the times like he don't understand stuff. So I just like put him in here. I was like, oh, he just doesn't understand what's going on. Like he didn't understand the conversation, but he definitely did know what he was talking about. Cause you went and you talked to them, and then what happened? What was brought up?
And I said to my mom, I said, so you just lied to this child. And so what happened was my mother told her, my mother did not like how I was handling this situation at all. And whenever she would come and witness the altercation, it will always be when I was trying to overpower Asha. So she was in story that I was beating my daughter up. And she just, I guess she had a moment where she said that she would sign, because that was after I said, so instead of you going to New York, she was going to take guardianship over her. Because I mean, it was a really, and to give y'all context, we live here with my mother. After Harvey and I had a back injury, we've been here for about almost 4 years. And so that in itself, I already told you guys I didn't have the best relationship with my mother. So this is like 3 generations of craziness, madness, and then the dynamics between her and her grandmother. So her and her grandmother also don't have the best relationship. So this kind of was like, oh my God, my grandma really loves me and she's coming to save me, come to my rescue. But then my mother told me that she just bull-faced lied. She just was trying to simmer the situation down. So she lied to her and told her that she would go sign guardianship papers and take guardianship over her. So that really affected Asha. You can talk about how that made you feel.
Yeah, that really hurt my feelings because like my mom said, me and my grandma, we don't have the best relationship. Even like right now, it's like way better. Like we don't like argue or bump heads as much, but like we don't really get along that much either. So the way that she was acting during the whole situation, like she made me feel really good. She was always checking in on me. She was talking to me. I could get like deep with her and I could never like do that before. So it felt really good and I felt really close to her. And like it felt like, wow, like this is what it feels like to have a good relationship with your grandma. But then whenever she lied to me, like that just hurt my feelings and that like set us way back. Like what she thought she was doing, it did the complete opposite. So then I don't know why, but eventually I had agreed to go, right? But why?
Well, yeah, because so the closer they were getting, the further they were pushing me apart. I even spent some time outside of the house. And I just, at this point in time, as a mother, to have such a drastic change, and I'm telling you that that clip that you guys heard is not even the half of it. But we're not at that part yet. To just have her behavior change so drastically, and I felt like I did everything as a parent, like I told you guys, since I was young, I was planning being a parent, right? And I felt like a failure, and I didn't know what to do. And again, monkey see, monkey do. The classic thing to do when the single mother can't take the child anymore is to send her to her dad. So I came back into the home. And I gave her an ultimatum, and I was like, it's either me or your grandmother or whoever else you're going to choose. Who do you choose? And I told her that if she chooses me, I need some time. I need some space. I need a break. And before I told her that she was going to her dad's house indefinitely. So then I told her, you know, it would just be for a time. I felt that she needed to mend the relationship between her and her father. I was convinced that them being estranged contributed to the things that she was going through. And she was kind of up and down about that. And I still think to this day, it's something that she has not fully admitted to, at least, I don't know about to herself, but not outwardly, that does affect her immensely. And so I wanted them to try to build a relationship. And I truly felt alone, especially because it's one thing when you can pick up the phone and call your mother and ask her for advice. I'm in my mother's home, and it's like she's against me, and I just felt really alone. I reached out to my siblings. Nobody agreed with how I was doing things because in my family, everything is passive. If the child is acting up, they're showing signs of things, you just ignore it. You just wait for it to simmer down. You sweep everything under the rug. Meanwhile, I was like, okay, is there something going on with her mental health wise? So I was, we had gone to a couple counseling sessions, failures. And so I was actively looking for a good therapist. I think we went through 3 therapists. And then after I did Be the Tree, I said, I think I want Shawnee to do this, but you know, this was in the pandemic, and I think Shawnee was still debating on if she was going to do virtual sessions. I don't know if she had already started. There was some hold up within that. And it's like, you know, I'm waiting for Shawnee, and things are just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And so finally, I don't know if Wendy Pierre is on here, but we took a trip out to Killeen. It was a 6-hour drive. And you can talk about that.
The drive, it was good though, right? Because like we were like talking and we were like talking about JoJo, like the drive, it was good. And then also before that, she told me that I had to quit my job. So I had to go stay with my dad. I did not like that because I didn't even want to go with my dad and I had to quit my job, like you're messing with my dad. Like be for real right now. That's what I was thinking. But I ended up I took a leave of absence. I had to tell them that my grandma died, which was half true. I mean, it was true.
It was true.
It was true. My grandma did die on my dad's side, but that's not why I was going over there. But the drive was good. Like we were talking and like it was a good conversation. We went to the lady's house and we had like good food. Like it was a good drive. I don't remember why it got bad. Probably because
on the way back, but you told me that you were lying to me that whole drive. And this is one of the issues I have with Asha too. It's like, as a parent who's trying to be better than the matriarchs before me, right? As far as raising your child and letting them express themselves, Asha would express herself, but you never know if she's telling you the truth or not, about how she feels about certain things, about how she feels about you. And the truth would come out in these outbursts like the ones that you heard.
Yeah, because sometimes I would just say the right thing to like keep it cool or to move along. But moving the story along, you know, someone had to pick between her and my grandma, and I picked her because like there was stuff that like she could do for me that my grandma wouldn't. And like at the end of the day, I'd rather live with my mom than my grandma. Like, you know, it's just a better dynamic. Like even though I didn't want to admit it, like I'd rather live with her than my grandma. So I was like asking how long would I be staying there? Would I come back for school? I was really concerned about dance because I would have to be back by like the middle of July so I could do dance camp. She was not answering me. She just kept saying indefinitely. That's another thing that was making me upset too, because like I didn't know how long I was staying there. So now I have to stay here with people I don't know, somebody that I'm not very fond of, my father, and I have to stay here and I don't know when I'm coming back or what's happening. And so I just was really against it. I didn't want to go. And then eventually the time came, it was like the day of.
Well,
right?
you spoke to your father before that too. So talk about the conversations you had with your father before you went.
I don't remember.
What did your father say to you when he asked you, why didn't you want to come? And what did you say?
Cause I don't know him. I really don't remember.
Yeah, you said.
Oh, and
you
he
have no-
just be like, oh, you can get to know me, blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't care for it. Like I didn't want to.
Well, he made a lot of promises. He said that he wanted to mend the relationship. He wanted to get to know her. They could start over. He understands. And then he also too, one thing that I will say is he told her that he admitted to being the absent parent. The reasons why, that's a whole other thing. He blamed everything on me, but he said that he did commend me for being the sole provider and everything for her, and that she must respect me and blah, 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 blah. But at this point in time, he wants to step up and he wants her to come so that he can start having a relationship with her. But so how did that make you feel? You don't even remember that.
I mean, I would assume that made me feel good a little bit, but like he lies about everything, so I didn't really believe it. Like I wasn't expecting much. But the day that was
That may, and that me as a mother, because some of you may be like, well, if she had no relationship with him, and when I tell you, I don't talk to that man at all. The few times that she's spoken to him over the years, there was a point in time where he would get me so upset. I was like, I just have to sever ties with him. I didn't speak to him at all, but I am very aware of the household that he lives in. He always lives with family. They are very loving in a Caribbean way. He's Jamaican. And I knew that she would be safe. And I thought it was just time for her to get to know that side of her family and for them to step up and help too, because I've taken it this far, and obviously there's something that I'm not doing right now. I need help, and I couldn't get it from my family. So why wouldn't it be a good idea to send her so she can mend the relationship with her father, so she can get to know her aunties, who were always a big part of her life when she was younger. One of the aunts used to even pay his child support because he refused to pay me child support, refused, and she would pay it. And so I wanted to bridge that gap, but I did tell her that it was indefinite. And as a parent, that's something that I've always was taught that you don't do. Whenever you put forth a punishment, or it's not a punishment, you have to give an end time, and the length of the punishment is supposed to match up with what the offense was, right? So I failed at that. I didn't take, again, Asha is not forthcoming with exactly how she was feeling. So I didn't even realize that all of those fine details were things that were bothering her. But she was ready to leave. She packed her stuff up. And when I tell you she packed her stuff up, when she heard indefinitely, she took that seriously. She packed up all her clothes. I looked at her suitcase like, are you trying to come back? Like, if it was me, I would pack a duffel bag. She packed all her stuff up. She had a goodbye party with her friends. She was ready to go. And then she got to a point of acceptance where it's like, okay, I have to do this. I'm going to do this. And I don't care what she says. I feel like there's a part of her that was like, okay, maybe I can start something with my dad. Maybe there's something good that could come out of this.
Yeah, obviously, there's always I don't know what the word is,
but that damned phone, that was the determining factor of how this was going to go. So talk about how you felt about even approaching me. So this is the morning that I'm driving her to the airport. Remember, guys, it's not that she doesn't have a phone. She has an Android. She's leaving to go to New York with an Android.
The fact that I had Android, it really made my case not good, because I was trying to say, oh, I can't talk to somebody, blah, blah, blah. But I really could talk to people, but not the way that I wanted to. But I was scared to ask her. Like, I literally was walking on eggshells the whole time. Like, you could tell, right? You could tell that I wanted to ask you something.
You said that you wanted to ask me. You told me you wanted to ask me something, but you're scared. And I was like, look, we got to go.
Yeah, so I was like trying to work up the courage, to ask her, and then I did, and then you had said no.
I looked at her like you have got some nerve. Ooh, this is your punishment. You're missing the whole point. And then it was like, I'm not going to be able to talk to my friends, but you have an Android. You can talk to them on the phone. They can download Duo, iPhone people, and you can have a video call. And she was just being bratty. Can you admit that?
I was being bratty. Like, I was crying and like making a scene, and I just kept asking. I think I got on my knees and begged. Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, it was that bad. And then I think like you were like, okay, well, I won't let you take, because I have an iPhone 11, and then there was that iPhone 8 that I had gave to her, my old phone. So she was like, I'll let you take that phone, but I just can't let
I don't even remember that. So I told you could take your iPhone 8. Mm-hmm. You guys hear this?
But you said I couldn't take my iPhone 11 because you wasn't done going through it. And I didn't want that. I wanted my iPhone 11. I'm going to fight for what I want. So I was like, no. I was like, can you give me my phone? Then I started throwing out, like, I'm the one that paid for it. You ain't even pay for that phone. Like, that's my phone. I was like, if you don't give me my phone back, then I'm just going to go there and I'm going to buy another phone, because while I was working, I was saving my money. It wasn't even a lot of money. I think I saved like $500, $600 to go to New York with. So I was like, if I split half of that for a phone, I still have a good amount of money. I was already plotting. So I was like, if you don't give me that phone, whenever I go to New York, I'm just gonna buy another phone, or I'm gonna make my dad buy another phone, because in my head I'm like, gonna want to do anything for my love, so he'll buy me another phone. And she was just like, no, you're not. I won't let you. I was like, yes, I will. Yes, I will. And I was just getting really mad. I think I walked out, right?
You ran out. She ran out, made a spectacle. The last thing that I wanted, because my mother already did not agree with any of this. So now, and my mother does not do public displays of any kind of emotion, forget affection. And so she's literally outside screaming, cursing, just like how you heard on the audio. And I went to go get her, and I was like, if you don't get in this car, I'm taking you to psych. Because, like, for me, you guys here, I don't even remember submitting to giving her the iPhone 8. I was going to let her get the iPhone 8, but she must have the iPhone 11. And I was like, this is really addiction. What she's saying is not rational. You can talk to your friends. She's having a whole episode. I'm afraid it's going to get violent again. So I finally get you in the car,
Yeah.
and we're on our way to the airport, and you just won't be quiet. And what you guys heard on the recording, there's more of it. Like, she is just going nuts.
Oh, I was just saying everything that I have been holding in, or everything that was on my mind, or everything that I was truly feeling. I was just talking about how I didn't want to go with my dad. I started talking about like how like you suck the fun out of everything, like the arts and stuff that I used to do. And I was just saying crazy stuff, just saying crazy stuff and cursing, talking about I'm just another statistic. Like I was just really mad, and I really didn't want to go to the psych ward. So that's the only reason why I got into the car, because I was scared and I didn't want to go. And being sent to New York, I know that you is capable of going through with your punishments for real. So yeah, and I was like kicking on the dashboard and stuff like that. I just was
She was
acting like
trying
a
to bust the
baby.
windows out of the car.
Yeah.
It got to a point where I had to pull over. And then when I pulled over, she tried to jump out the car. Then she was trying to jump out of the car when the car was moving.
That's not true. We was approaching a red light.
If you're approaching the red light, the car is moving. It was just craziness. So I called I think the mobile crisis team. And no, I called a facility. And when the lady heard Asha in the background, she was like, don't bring her here. You can't bring her here. I was like, what? Where do I bring her? And so she gave me instructions, and I turned the car around. And I was like, I can't take you into an airport like this. You're going to get the help that you need. And you know, one thing that I will say is I feel like there is a lot of mental health issues in my family. And from drastic diagnoses to just depression. And let's not say just depression, because depression is serious. And I felt like she was somewhere in between and having an episode, and I just didn't want to be that parent who doesn't call the police, who just hides everything. I was like, we're going to break these things right now. I wanted a 72-hour hold so that she could get evaluated. And if she needs to get on a pill, she gets on a pill. Like, I mean, I feel like even I could benefit from a good cocktail sometimes. I definitely know that anger issues and the moments of rage, that definitely comes from me. And people say my father was like that. So I really was like, I want Asha to have a better quality of life than I do. I'm going to get her the help that she needs. And I don't know if I called my sister or you called.
I think I texted my Uncle Martez and my aunt that you were gonna send me there. Uncle Martez didn't want me to go there, so he was calling you.
They were,
Yeah.
instead of helping me, cursing me out. Everybody was against me, but nobody's giving me a solution. So I'm literally now driving the opposite direction of the airport. And I'm talking about southwest of where the airport is, okay? And I don't know what, I think she just begged me. She's like, she does not want to go to psych. Like now, because then, okay, it's hard as a parent or anybody who is witnessing such an episode to determine whether or not this is just behavioral or a mental health crisis. Like, I really didn't know. I've never seen her act like this before. And the things she was saying, she brought up stuff from when she was 3. And so one of the things that I said is, okay, no matter how much of an environment I created for you to be open, you have so much suppressed because our whole life is a lie. All of the things that I thought you enjoyed, you're telling me you didn't enjoy. I thought that you admired me. You hate me, and you think that you don't want to be like me. There was so much that was coming out. But somehow she got me to turn the car around. And she wasn't going to the airport by herself. I had a cousin who coincidentally was in Houston at that time. And so I took you to the airport. They met her, and I told them what state she was in, and I was like, I'm so afraid to give this child to y'all. And I'm like, if she does anything crazy, just get her committed. Like, I can't anymore. And they were like, they took it on. They were like, don't worry about it. We're gonna get her on that plane, and that's what they did. So what happened when you saw them in the airport?
I don't even remember. I didn't even know that I met your cousin there.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that she doesn't remember too. So that goes to show the trauma that she experienced, but so it was my cousin and her boyfriend, and he was just great with kids and great with her actually. So he really took a liking to her and wanted to help out in the situation, and they got her to New York. So her first stop was my sister's house, as she waited for her father, because he told us that his mother died and that he was going to be in Jamaica for a little while. And he was supposed to come back on a Sunday or a Monday. And then he said, I was communicating with him now, on the phone with him now. And he said, well, I have a couple things that I need to take care of for my mother. I'm not going to be able to come back when I said I would. And it was okay because she was at my sister's house. So what were you doing at Shirley's house?
As soon as I got there, I bought my phone, like I said I would, and it came in 2 days, and I was using it and stuff like that.
And my sister, meanwhile, is like, that doesn't look like an Android.
Yeah, I was hanging out with my other aunt, and then I was hanging out with my other aunt, and she knew that I had the phone, and she just said that she didn't want to be in it, so she didn't tell my mom that I had it. So that's what helped me get away with it too, because she didn't know.
Okay, so let's stop right here and get some support from Amin, because I think some people have questions or comments.
Yeah, so I'll jump in here. Thank you so much for being so authentic and open with us and transparent, bringing your stories to the community, which are stories I'm sure a lot of us can relate to or didn't know. And even myself, who I don't have children, it's a great learning lesson to hear about your journey together and how you both are dealing with it. So I'm going to go to Lucinda, who said, so basically she was hurt and she was trying to hurt you with her words and actions. It's scary and hurtful. You're right. You try to be different, try to be a different parent than how you grew up as Caribbean, and they lie and they're sneaky. This was my current situation. My constant question to my daughter is, why do you feel like you have to lie? So, Asha, why do you feel like you have to lie sometimes?
I would lie to my mom because I was trying to prevent myself from getting in trouble, or I would be scared of how she was going to react to whatever happened.
Or to get your way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Lucinda, did you want to add anything to that?
Hey, Lucy.
Oh,
Right.
So my daughter literally says the same thing to me. She says, I'm just scared that you're going to get upset or you're going to get mad at me. And I'm just like, when have I ever shown you that I was going to be upset? I try to be open with you. I sit down with you. I tell you that I love you. So why are you so scared? I don't beat you. And half the time you deserve a beating. And so I just don't get it.
And the lies make it worse sometimes, right? And now I'm upset.
Yeah, now I'm upset.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I always tell my daughter, I say, listen, if you come to me, you tell me something, I would say 8 out of 10 times, I won't be upset. I'll try to listen to you and understand. But if I catch a lie, it's worse for you because I hate when people lie to me. So you're always going to get a bad reaction because when I find out, I'm going to be angry, not even upset. Like I get very, very angry.
So one thing that I found with these kids is they're not able to put that together. What they remember and what they hold true is the time that you did get upset. It doesn't matter how many times. They don't have the capacity to use that kind of logic, rationale, especially when it's about something they want or when they're in fear mode, right? So one thing that I've always said I was going to try with Asha that I didn't is to have one thing that I found, and that's just through watching even kids cartoons and stuff like that, is to use a cue word. So you know how like Kevin, I think it's Kevin Hart, he's like when you start to talk about something that makes him feel uncomfortable, he says pineapples, 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 right? Mm-hmm. Especially like if it's sexually, pineapples, pineapples, pineapples. So to come up with a word where they can feel secure. If I use this word, I know that this is automatically going to cue mom to get into a state where she can receive what I'm about to say. So I offer you to try that and let me know if it works. Because again, I didn't try. What I would always say to Asha is try me. Try me. You say that I'm going to react in this sense, in this instance, but you've never tried it. You're going by when you weren't so communicative or productive, speaking productively, and you got in trouble for something. Try me, prepare me first. Simply say, Mom, don't get mad, but, and did you ever receive that? Did you ever try to do that?
I do that like now, like after we went to therapy and stuff like that. But before, I don't think I tried that. Like now, I'm like, yeah, man.
So yeah. It's-
Okay. I want to bring Valencia in, who said that she's going to try that. Valencia, if you want to share, how can you relate to that, and how do you see yourself implementing that with you and your daughter, and your sons?
I mean, thank goodness my son is not of age as of yet. He's 3 and the other one is 6 months. But my daughter, she's preteen. She's 12. It's the same thing. I don't know why these kids lie, and it hurts so bad that you can't trust your kid when they speak to you. She has her traumatic stuff that she went through as well. And so, but she did express to me that she is depressed and that she needs, she expressed to me that she felt like I'm not there or I wasn't around to protect her. But with the phone also, the phone, the exposure to her, to everything. So she has an iPhone. Everything is pretty much locked up. I have the screen time on. I think I had the screen time on for 24 hours for about like a year and a half for right now. I mean, literally, she has access to nothing but to her friends. I can actually control who she could talk to and who she could add onto the phone. She has to send me requests to do anything on her phone. But sometimes I do want to talk about her trauma. I do want to talk about her feelings, because I'm Caribbean as well. So, our parents didn't do that. So you want to try to be different. So sometimes, she'll just shut down. So I think that word, or picking out a word for her to be able to, I don't know, to play the level field, to say, okay, this is going to be uncomfortable, or I don't want to talk about it. I think it's a good idea, because a lot of the time she just shuts down, and then, and then I don't get upset, but it's just like, well, damn, like, can you talk to me? You're quick to talk to your friends, you can talk to everybody else, but when it comes to me, it's just like, you don't want to say anything, and I want to be here for you. So I'm complete. Thank you.
And when you try these things, you have one thing, us as parents, that we don't realize is that kids learn through repetition, and we need to give them a chance to adopt new habits. So it's not something that's going to happen overnight. You have to be patient, and you have to make sure that you're not bringing forth the one thing that they're afraid of. So a lot of it is our own self-control and putting our children first. So when you try to use this word, it's not going to happen overnight. You got to just keep encouraging her. And when she doesn't use the word, and you find out later that she was feeling this way or whatever, make sure you react differently and that you support her in creating this new habit.
So thank you so much. And Asha, I just want to share, when I was in high school, they used to, we couldn't bring out cell phones after a while. So we would spend $1 every day to the bodega to hold our phones. And yeah, look at your face, right? And then we would get it at the end of school because we had metal detectors. I went to Hillcrest. And so if you beep, they took your phone. So they were serious about that. And the school I work for now, we locked them up in a file cabinet, but it's, the bodegas were making money off of us. But the schools are becoming even more strict, at least up here with the cell phones, because they are such a distraction. So my question is, what is it that is making this an addiction for you? Is it like the lack of connectedness to your friends, losing that ability to escape from your reality? Are you just bored? Are you anxious about what you're missing on your phone? What makes it so addicting?
Literally everything you said, like all of it, like not being able to talk to my friends, the anxiousness. Like I don't really have FOMO that bad, but like when it comes to like social media and like watching what other people's doing, like that gets like addicting, like wanting to see what everybody's doing. So I just felt so out of the loop, and the fact that I couldn't like update people on what I was doing, that was bad. And then like it was like low-key embarrassment, like the fact that I was like 16 still getting my phone taken up, like that was like embarrassing. to me. So, but literally everything you said, that's why I was so addicted.
That's something that
still
she
am.
experienced a lot too. And that was one of the things we're debating and playing in the recording. She was having a fit over her comparison of my parenting to her other friends. But the reality of it is most of her friends were not engaging in the behaviors that she was. She had some really good friends. One in particular who assured me, she was like, Mom, I keep telling her, stop doing this. Just go through your punishment period so you can get your phone back. And in the end was very supportive of her getting through that 60 days, I think.
Oh Lord, 60 days in.
Oh, I just had her phone taken up for a year.
Wow.
And I say that because she always found a way to get another phone somehow.
Yeah.
She's never really felt the burn of having her phone taken
That
up.
was the first time that I actually got my phone taken up. Like, I never like said that, but every single time that she's taken my phone, I've gotten another phone. So like those 2 months, and not even because the first month I got another phone, so it was really only 1 month. It was the month of October, so it was really only 30 days. That was the first time that I ever really got my phone taken up. Like I didn't get another phone, nothing. It was just me and that Android.
And it was an addiction because no matter what it did to our relationship or how much trouble she got into, she always had to get another phone. I remember there was one time I walked in her room and I heard music and I'm like, that sounds like it's coming from a phone. You know, you could tell the difference between the phone speaker and the computer speaker. And she just sat there straight faced. No, that's my computer. It's my computer. No, I don't phone. What phone? No, you took my phone. That's my computer. And she had hid the phone under the covers and I peeled them covers back. And there was the phone. And as a parent, you're like, oh my God, again, like she can't go through a week of punishment.
Yeah,
So,
she finesses her way. She finds a way.
it really caused a lot of strain in our relationship. And as a parent, I didn't see it for what it was. And for me, it was simply, choose a relationship with your mother. We had a pretty good relationship, so I thought up until that point, and it was just always the phone, always the friend.
Where
So guys,
I was gonna say, where did you see that turn in her behavior? Like what age?
When I saw it at 17, maybe 16 going into 17, but there were a lot of things that were going on that I just was not aware of. And again, I was on my own.
That was just
16. I was on my own healing journey. And we're going to talk about some of those things too, because I feel like your mental state as a parent, your financial situation, it all plays into your parenting, and finding a balance is really hard. So for me, the best way is to make sure you're prepared to be a parent before being a parent. And they always say, well, yes, you can. And that's just not true. What you put in is what is what you get out. And I've really, as much as I tried to create a good environment, a lot of it was my fault. I was getting back what I was putting in. So it's almost 7:00 Central, 8:00 Eastern. I don't know if anybody has to go, but if you do, we want to wish you a blessed day. Please watch the playback because we have a lot more to get into. We're going to finish out this story, and then I have some exercises that I want to do with you guys. So stick around. We're going to try not to go over, but you know how Martine Lissa Malivers do.
Okay, we'll take one more question and then we can go into your slides. So Asha Valencia asks, do you see now as you are becoming an adult why your mom was trying to protect and help you? Do you see what was important in the past is not as important now?
Yes, everything. Like whenever I think back to what I can remember, because like she said, I guess I block a lot of stuff out because of trauma. I can barely remember half of the stuff that she's saying. But like now, like whenever I think back to it, I just like cringe, or like I just can't believe I did all that. I just feel like, over dramatic, and I can't believe that like I really put like a phone over me and my mom's relationship, because now obviously I value it more, and I'm happy that we are where we're at. But it just makes me so mad that we could have avoided all of that if I could have just been mature and just gave my phone up. Like, it was only a month, like that's all she was asking for, and I couldn't do that. And I also just regret a little bit. You don't even know this, but I kind of wish that my dad didn't lie the whole time, and I wish that I was more open to like, like meeting him and stuff like
Well,
that.
we're gonna get into that
Yeah.
before the slides. But one thing that I really want to say, and I want to say to you too, a lot, this is what we're going to get into, and my resources that I have to share with you guys are definitely based around this. Before I had Asha, I would always tell every parent, because you have that parent who you're like, God, their kids are so well behaved. These kids are so good. It's not going to last. They are human beings. They have to find themselves. There are going to be moments where they just come totally out of character as they grow and develop. And it's something we as parents need to expect and be ready for. So maybe the ways that, how you expressed it or whatever, but I feel like this was all part of your natural growth and development.
I think so too, though. That's the good. Like, like everybody, they have like their age or like their time where they just like wild out.
That's what I used to call it, the wilding out stage.
Yeah, where everybody just wild out. So,
and for some people, it comes really late. It comes at 21. You just have to have faith in what you've poured into them thus far and wait for them to come back. And unfortunately, some kids don't come back. Some kids, they get into accidents or whatever, but that's where you stay prayed up, as some people would say. You got a lot of people who love you and are praying for you.
I'm happy that all that stuff happened up, because I feel like I wouldn't be the person that I am right now.
No, absolutely not. And our relationship wouldn't be as strong either. So let's tell them what happened. So she goes to New York. She's there for a week. My sister is driving me crazy because, again, she's not totally with my plan. And now it's like she's getting cold feet. You're going to have me to release her to these people. I don't know these people. And they're like sabotaging this whole thing. Her dad is supposed to pick her up one day, and she was sitting in the salon getting her hair braided.
Because he didn't come. Oh, wait, was he? I don't remember. I wanted to get my hair done more than I wanted to go see him, and then like I was supposed to wait to go get my hair done with him, but like I don't know, I didn't want to, or like I didn't trust
they defied me, her and my sister.
But he was lying too.
Well, we don't know that.
That's why, isn't that why we went to go get my hair done? Because he was supposed to show up like 2 times and he just didn't come. Like, we didn't know when to trust him, when not to. He kept saying he was coming, he was not coming. Oh, I'm coming. Oh, wait, I got caught up in work. Oh,
so her father is very vindictive, and things have to be his way. So if he says he's coming on a certain day and time and you deviate from that, now he's going to play games. But long story short, she was out there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he just kept coming up with the craziest things. So first, he told me he doesn't have a vehicle. Not the type of person to be without a vehicle. Then he told me that he hadn't worked since the pandemic, and he's a chef, newly a chef, and I think it was Father's Day.
Yeah.
He had an interview where he had to go cook for it was some really crazy story. One of those stories where you like, it has to be true because it's so crazy. And what's the third thing he lied about? The car, his job. We'll wait for that. So all these days are passing. He keeps saying he's going to pick her up. Every day he says he's going to pick her up, and he doesn't pick her up. And so now I'm like, this kid is already going through trauma. I'm like out of my mind at this point. And I call his son. So his son is in his mid-20s. I call his son and I let him know what's going on. And his son is just laughing on the phone. And his son was currently, at that time, was in Jamaica because he wasn't able to come back to the States. And he said, I've been in Jamaica. I went to my grandmother's funeral, but my dad sure did not. And I said, what do you mean? I was like, did your grandmother die? He was like, my grandmother died. She's buried. That's what I'm here for. But my father did not come to Jamaica. He didn't come to the funeral. And I'm like, what? So he lied. Because remember, she went to New York with my cousin and she was supposed to go to him immediately, but she couldn't because he was in Jamaica burying his mother. His son was telling me he never made it to Jamaica. His son said, oh, he said he doesn't have a car. I think my dad drives a Lamborghini.
No, Porsche.
A Porsche. He said he doesn't have a job and he's a chef and he has an interview. He's like, my dad owns a restaurant. That's the man that I know. And I'm sitting on the phone and I'm like, oh, I can't believe what I'm hearing. No matter what I've been through with this man, I know he's totally capable, but because of the conversations that he had with Asha, because he knew what I was going through, I just couldn't believe that he could be this evil. So I hang up the phone with him and I call his sister, who's a little older. And she basically confirms everything. And I'm like, oh my God. So I call Asha's godmother and I tell her to go get my daughter immediately because I had to, at that point in time, you were back at Natalie's house. She was in Queens waiting for him. My sister who she went to first was in Jersey. She was driving me crazy. So I just had her drop her off in Queens. And I said, you know what? Godmother, go pick Asha up, please. And I know that this woman could handle this. So before she could pick you up, what happened?
My dad came.
He finally came. This is after 2 weeks, I think. He came and he picked you up and you weren't happy about that at all.
I was just in the back not talking. He kept trying to talk to me, but I was not talking. He was laughing like something was funny, but it wasn't funny. Like I was not happy. But I just feel bad too. Cause I wasn't trying. Like I wasn't trying to like talk or like trying to build a relationship. But like I was over it by then. Like I done already moved like 2 places. I done sat around and wait for you. And now you finally decide to come because you can. And I was supposed to be like open and ready to talk. I didn't think that was fair.
So he took you to his house.
Yeah, he took me to his house, and then like I said hi to everybody, and then we were in the living room, and like he was sitting in a chair. Oh, you can't see, but we were sitting totally across from each other. Like I went out of my way to sit across from each other, so we're just across and we're just staring at each other. And then I'm just like face deep in my phone, like I'm just texting people, texting my friends, like, girl, you never guess what happened. Like I'm really here with my dad. I was just not paying attention to him, and he just kept trying to talk to me. And then also when we got in there, he answered the phone, and it was his son, so my younger brother, and he's like, "Oh, make sure you stay out of the grass because you know you're allergic to the grass. Daddy loves you." Like that really hurt my feelings because like I don't know how to explain it. But
So the
you
last
can
one is the
imagine.
golden child, and even his older son explained this dynamic to me. He says his older son says, "Don't be fooled. I don't even know why Asha's wasting her feelings on this. The only reason why my dad has this type of relationship with her son is because his mom is crazy and she demands it of him, and she's relentless." But that's hard to stomach, right? This man who you have barely spoken to is showing all this love in your face to a child who came after you, right?
Yeah.
Tough stuff. Meanwhile, I'm in Texas. We have arrangements for her godmother to go pick her up. And like I said, she is somebody who can handle this. I don't know. She probably would have choked her dad. I don't know what would happen, but I just wasn't feeling right. And I woke up the day after making these arrangements, and I was supposed to be getting ready to go to work. And I sent a text to my boss and I was like, sorry, I'm not coming into work. I'm about to go to New York and get my daughter.
When you text me that, I was like, I didn't think that was you texting me. I was like, you got a hold of my motherphone. And it's the way that you texted it too. You was like, I'm coming on a plane to see you right now. My flight is at this time. I'm like, bro, dude, who took your phone? Who hacked the phone company? I was so confused. I was like, you're crazy. Like you have to go to work. I was so confused.
And what I love about my boss, I'm so grateful for this woman. Her response, do what you got to do. And I swear to y'all, in 15 minutes, I bought plane tickets. Now my mom is really looking at me like I'm a crazy person. I bought plane tickets, packed up and whatever I could pack up in the short amount of time that I had to get to the airport. I zoomed to the airport, got on the plane. Her godmother, instead of picking her up, came to pick me up from the airport. And we went to go pick her up from her dad's house. So how much time do you think you spent with your dad?
maybe an hour or two, couple hours.
Yeah, it was literally only a couple hours.
And I got nothing out of that conversation. He just literally blamed everything on you. He lied, said that he never had my address. That's why he never like sent me no mail or came to see me. If you don't have my address, ask for my address.
I mean, I think you guys by now can see what type of character this was. And so now as a mom, I'm like, oh my God, this whole thing backfired on me. Everybody's gonna be like, I told you so. I have to clean this up. And I remember, and I don't remember if it was at this time or before this time, I sent Shawnee Benton Gibson a demand letter. And I was like, we are in need of your services. I know you're busy. I will wait on you. Do not refer me to anybody else. My spirit demands you. It must be you. This is because I went through Be the Tree and I know what it did for me. And I just wanted to pass that energy on to Asha. And so I hit send and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so extra. Oh, I'm so impulsive. How is this lady going to take this?
I was talking to her while I was there. I think I was talking to her before.
No, but this was
that was
before, because remember, I stayed in New York.
Yeah.
And did you have a session?
No, yeah, I had sessions with her while I was there. 'Cause I remember I was.
No, but before I came?
Because I was on the computer app.
Okay, so I might have my timeline a little mixed up. But Shawnee, are you here? Do you want to say how you felt to receive that message and what you thought about this whole mess that I was laying in front of you?
Good morning, everybody. And love you, baby Asha. I didn't take it personally at all. I've been doing this work for 30 years, so I feel like I've heard it all, seen it all. I just wanted to make space for you, and you were like really, really demonstrating like the absolute need to get that support. So, I wanted to carve out the time to create the space for you to get that. And sometimes it's like that. It's a Mayday, like, please come help. And you're not the first person who's ever done that. So I didn't think you were crazy at all. You just being you. And as we've gotten to know one another, I'm like, there goes Martine. It's all good.
But she answered the call. And, that's one of the things that we really, really, really want to make sure it hits home, because that was the beginning of the change. Sometimes as a parent, especially as a single parent, you can't do it on your own. Sometimes one thing that I will say, my sister's boyfriend, and this is like a new boyfriend, when he picked up the phone and he called me, he checks on me often, and he said, stop explaining things to people who just don't have the capacity to understand. You're gonna wear yourself out. These people are not mothers. If they are mothers, they're not mothers of a 16-year-old, 17-year-old at that point who's going through all of this. Stop. And so I was like, then what do you do? And his answer was, just you just gotta let these kids do whatever. And I didn't agree with that. And so I thought about what he said, and I said, okay, well, who can understand? Who can help, right? And a therapist. And the journey to find a good therapist, I'm telling you, we went through them. And it's hard because it's like each time you start over, you have to tell this story all over again. Tell everything that you've been through. It is hard, but once you find that good fit, which Shawnee was the good fit, it is so worth it. So, you have EAP programs that help, because therapy is expensive. It's expensive, but I would say to prioritize it, because a lot of times in life, there are things that we spend money on normally and regularly that we don't need. Make space for what's important, because the gap between us and these kids is so large. There's so many things that they're going through that we can't understand. They're growing up under this technology age. There's things that we just can't wrap our brains around. Like, I saw this picture that it was a painting somebody posted on Facebook, and it was just a bunch of kids on the porch talking. And it was a picture like one was braiding hair, God was squeezing the girl's breast, and I just got so nostalgic. I was like, wow, I remember when we used to do this. These kids don't have that experience. They barely play outside with each other. So you have to make space and provisions for this. So it was one of the best decisions that I've ever made. So talk about your few sessions and what happened. So I went to pick her up, and I changed my ticket. We ended up spending time in New York with the family. It was really, really important for me to show them that we were working on this and it was getting better, and to show them a different way. I really wanted to be like the first to do something differently and show them that this is a better way than how my family usually functions. So how was therapy for you?
At first, again, I don't really remember a lot, but I remember at first it was a little awkward, but being with Miss Shawnee, it was way better because we went through a lot of therapists, and like it was like on TV, like like when you going through things like too short, too old, too ugly, like that's how it was when we was going to the therapist. Like there was always something with one of them. Either I liked them and she didn't, or like there was one lady who was just really old and she just made me feel really uncomfortable. Like it was weird, like talking about this stuff.
So and listen to what she's saying, because these things matter. That's not something that I ever thought about, but I guess the older the person was, they weren't relatable.
Yeah, it was hard to like connect, but like Miss Shawnee was like perfect.
And
like
she's so cool.
Yeah, like the three, like the little bears and Goldilocks. Like it was like, yes, this one is just right. And yeah, that's what. But at first I know that it was like hard. It's always hard to open up to somebody new, but then eventually like it just flowed, and it was really nice having somebody that I could talk to, and she was really, really helpful. She's like on my top 3 of like best things that ever happened to me for real, because I don't know where I would be if I ain't meet her. But yeah, it was good at first, but still meeting my dad and stuff was still hard. But it was nice to have like an outlet and somebody to talk to, and like it like was like coping mechanisms and stuff like that, because we talked about my anxiety and everything. So
yeah. And so this was the first time ever that you, and now I don't know, tell the truth to the people, that you really went without your phone.
When?
The punishment that I put forth while you were in therapy.
Okay, yeah, we were in therapy and I had already came back home, and then it was my mom had called me with the phone because everything was good. I was about to start school, everything was good. I had come home, I was like not really in trouble anymore. I was able to go out, but I still didn't have a phone when I did. And so we were cleaning, and then my uncle's wedding was a couple months before, and she was like, "Oh, you never sent me the wedding pictures." And then that was bad because my uncle, he didn't really know that I had like 2 phones or whatever like that. Like he just thought he was sending it to me. He sent it to my iPhone. And so for me to send her the pictures, I would have to send it to my Android. First, I had to email it to my Android because I can't even text it to my Android. So I had to email it to my Android, then save all the pictures, and there was a lot of pictures, and then send it to her. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me just go to the room and send it to you real quick. Obviously, it wasn't real quick. I was taking a long time.
It wasn't. And remember that these are the wedding pictures where I was crying, and I had the episode at the wedding. So I really was like trying to prepare myself emotionally to see, do I really look a mess in these pictures? And I remember asking you, and you were like,
yeah, you didn't look a mess. You just looked like you was crying. But I was in that closet struggling. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then finally she came, and I was in the closet. I was scared. I was like, oh, hey, girl. She was like, what you doing in there? I was like, oh, nothing.
I said, you just threw something in the closet.
Yeah, I definitely did throw that thing. I was like, hey, girl. It was good.
So this is, we're getting better. She's going through therapy, and here I go finding her being deceitful and manipulative again and having a phone. I took up the phone.
You asked for it, and I was like, no.
Oh, yeah.
You asked for it, and I was like, no, I bought this. This is my phone, blah, blah, blah. And then it was just bad all over again. That was bad. That was in August, like the beginning of August, right before I went to school. It was bad all over again. And then
so I said, fine.
Yeah, she let me have it. And I
was like, I'm done with you.
That was really bad. Like, it was like I didn't have a mom. Like, because I was working. So like she would not pick me up from work. And like a Uber to work was $10. A Uber back from work was $10. And I worked 5 days a week. So I was spending $100 on Uber. I had no money.
Uber in late at night. Yeah. I would act like I was sleeping, but I was sitting there like, and I could see the Uber transactions too. And one time, tell them about the time the Uber driver asked you about that.
What?
You don't remember when the Uber driver was like, you're here by yourself? Like the Uber driver was shocked that she was getting an Uber and she was by herself at that time. Because Ubers. I had to really put my foot down. And then I did a few sessions with Shawnee, and eventually Shawnee, I didn't successfully get the phone from her, but Shawnee told her to give it to me, and I guess she had that respect for Shawnee. She was really upset at Shawnee that day, though. I mean, body language was like, she was, look, on a virtual session like this to Shawnee.
Cause she was in the office and I was in my room and I was not looking. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Godmother Shawnee, yes, ma'am. That's honorary godmother right there. So she brought the phone to me, and in that moment, as a parent, I was like, damn, it takes a whole other person for you to make this decision. But again, you got to swallow your pride and just have to be grateful for the resources and people who really have your back and know how to be there for you, right? Because I can't sit here and act like my family was never there for me, but sometimes they can't fulfill every need. So we need the outsiders. So got the phone back, and did you truly do 2 months without your phone?
No, the first month, that was when she called me with the computer whole thing when I lied.
No, I'm talking about when Shawnee took the
No, yeah, the first month, because it's supposed to be 1 month. It was supposed to be the month of September, and now I started using the iPhone 8 again. That was when you asked me about it, and I said I don't know what it is, and I hid it in the garage, and I hid it under your bed.
I don't think that this is right.
Yes,
we're gonna go with this.
No, that's not what happened. I was using my the iPhone 8 during school, and she asked me about it, and then I hid it in the garage so it wouldn't be in my room, so she wouldn't find it in the room. And then one day while she was at work, I hid it under her bed, so then like she could like miraculously find it. Then I went to school, and one of my friends, like I was telling them, complaining about how I didn't have a phone, so then they gave me their old phone, and then whatchamacallit, I was using her old phone and I got caught with it when she heard the music and it put in my computer. Then after that, October was a month where I finally had no phone because it was supposed to be the month of September.
But that's when Shawnee made you give me the phone.
No, she made me give me the iPhone 8.
All right.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Anyway, the point is you did your stretch without a phone.
Yes. Just not on your side.
And she got support from her friends because she does have some good friends. I don't know, they had group therapy sessions for her, or what, it was a whole intervention. It was like, child, just stop and just do your time. So she did her time. She got her phone back. She even I'm on her Instagram now.
We came a long way. She unblocked off of Instagram.
And how do you feel? And what do you think? Give me the top 3 things that led to the success of our relationship. Even though I'm about to knock you out after this session.
Why are you gonna knock me out? Because you don't know the timeline. I don't know, top 3. I mean, obviously Miss Shawnee and
therapy.
Yeah, therapy. Just I don't know.
What came out of therapy then? It had to be
maturity. I don't know.
So mature, maybe recognize where you were being immature, self-reflection.
Yeah, like self-reflection. I don't know the third one.
Okay.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I think one of the significant things, and y'all will tell me if I'm wrong, is also the historical work that we did, like talking about the cycle. You know, your mother, you and her, and just like what that has created, like patterns that have been replicated. Yeah, y'all had not done that work before. I think there was an awareness, but the way we did the work had you look at it with new eyes, I would say.
Yeah. So there was like role play, and I hate any type of role play, and I've really stretched for this. And so she had me, Shawnee had me play the role of my mother. Did you have to do grandma too?
I think I would be like a placeholder, kind of, so you would be able to talk to somebody.
Okay,
like
yeah.
Talk to yourself.
Yes. And then she had to do me, and then just I think that gave us a lot of empathy for each other, just to be able to see what the struggle was, and even, you know, with my mother. And since the relationship with my mother has gotten a lot better, I always try to get her to go to therapy, but that she went to one therapy session and she pulled the Asha. She was like this the whole time. And I know if it was Shawnee, it would have gone differently, but the therapist was so uncomfortable. And, you know, she was trying to respect my mother as an elder. And I just feel like she didn't do what she was supposed to do. It was totally unproductive. But the thing about therapy is you can't just show up. You have to be willing to do the work. And my mother was not. But on her own, she has done a lot of work. And who would have thought that I would have been sitting in this house for this long? Because if anybody knows me, I always have my own. I've been out on my own since I was 16. And I feel like we went through all this to be able to mend these 3 generations. And my poor dad. All right, guys, it's 7:22. Let's go through these things really, really quickly because these are things that I really, really want to hit home. Admin, if you could bring up the next slide. I'm going to bring up this visual. I had something to read. I'm just going to try to summarize it for you. This was a Facebook post that somebody came up with. And I want you guys to tell me. So I want you to write down. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes because we don't have a lot of time. What this image means to you, especially if you were here since part 1. What do you guys see in this image? Tell me how it makes you feel. And you guys can drop this in the chat too. Maybe not in your journals or paper, but let's share it in the chat. You guys can save this chat so you can look at it later. But if one person is ready, I'll take one share. Whoever raises their hand first, and admin help me out with that too.
We don't have any hands, but we have few responses in the chat. So Z said that's deep and terrifying. Lashonda said giving away a lot only to capture and stung by reality. And Lucinda said it's definitely deep. So if any one of you can come off and share what you mean by deep, that would be helpful. I'm actually not sure what to think about it, so I'm interested to hearing what others have to say.
Anybody.
And Shawnee said we are expected to give birth to our children on a bed of nails. So Lucinda, what do you mean by it's definitely deep?
See, I personally, I could be wrong. I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, what am I even looking at? What's coming out of her?
Right.
And then I said, is that babies? And for me, I just said, like, this is a woman that, I don't know, I just see a woman that who wants it all and is willing to do just about anything while struggling and suffering. And I don't know, I don't know, it messes with my spirit. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's just like, I don't know, like a woman who is just struggling, who wants it all and who's willing to just do everything while, I don't know that the last part, but it's just, I don't know. It's deep. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words.
It's
but my
okay,
spirit
yeah.
is like off.
Okay,
Gotcha,
so I
yeah.
read the piece before I looked at this, so I have a little more information than you guys do. But one of the things that I was a little confused about was, when I first saw it, I didn't see the babies at first. And I was like, what is happening? Look at her dress, look at her jewelry, look at the room that she's in. Like, what is this? And I see the IV bag being hung off. Like, what is happening in this? There's just so much. So the piece that was written was about what I've been talking about. And it's so crazy because my
Should
friend,
I? Oh, I was trying to say something.
Oh,
I'm
Teresa
sorry.
had something to say.
mhm.
You want to
What I
respond to
wanted
the
to
picture?
say, what I saw is that being a mother is it's a lot of pain with being a mother, and that you do go through a lot of stuff, but because like I had a baby at 16, and I've been still fighting to be a mother from 16 up until now. and I'm going through a lot of pain, even in having, my son, but I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up being a mother, no matter how much pain that I have to go through to be a mother, because sometimes as have an older child, you don't understand their decisions, but I'm still not giving up. I'm willing to take whatever I gotta take, to still hang in there with my child, and so the nails especially sent, because it's like there's times when what's happening with us is like it's a lot, like it feels like I'm being stuck, so I could kind of relate with this, because motherhood is challenging, but because I want to be a good mother, I'm going to keep on and doing whatever I have to do just to make sure that I'm there, and I'm healing. Even in the midst of pain, I'm still healing. So that's what I want to say about it.
Thank you. Thank you. So the piece that was associated with this, and I don't know how the art directly relates to the piece. Like, I don't know if he did this. I don't know if he saw this and it spoke to him. But what he was talking about is the environment, what I was saying, the environment in and outside of the womb before and after conception. What does that look like? And so what he was saying is that we don't think about the traumatic environment we bring our children in, and we don't prioritize readying our environment in and outside of our wombs, emotionally, physically, sometimes only physically. Do I have, a room, a nursery set up? I set up a nursery. I have a baby shower, and I have all these things. But what about emotionally? What is my child sitting in? What is it growing in? When it comes out into the world, what is my emotional state? What is my relationship with the other parent? And he was just imploring people to think about these things, and to say that children deserve to be born into nurturing and healthy environments. So that's what this picture is about. And at first I was like, well, then why is she wearing, I get the better nails. I get that. I see the babies. I see some babies who look like they didn't even make it, right? But why is she wearing this dress? And to me, now that means she went into labor emotionally not ready. She's still prioritizing her needs only. The color red speaks to me. There's a lot of things going on in this picture. But that's one of the things that I really want to see change, is that we think about, and this is for future generations, this is what I'm trying to instill in Asha, think about the environment that you're creating when you get pregnant, before you get pregnant. Make a conscious decision. Let's bring down the number of single parent households, because these kids are truly, truly suffering. So that's what that was about. I think what I'll do is on the Woo page, I'll share that post and you guys can read it, because it's a very, very long post. It's a little wordy. I don't think it's the best written, but it really, really did hit home for me. And I was just shocked at how our ideas parallel, because that's really, really important for me, to me. So last session, I gave you guys some homework. I don't know if anybody did it. You can go to the next slide. And it's doing this type of work. One of the things I also wanted you guys to do is think about those of us who are mothers. What words can you come up with to describe the environment inside of the womb that you created for your children, or that just existed, rather, because sometimes we're not intentionally creating it. What environment existed when you had your children? So if we could have one share to answer that question, and just give me at least 3 words, or you can give me more, but in case you can't come up with them, it's hard to come up with, because I really wanted to give you guys more time to think about this. But what 3 words could you use to describe, if you're being honest with yourself, the environment that existed when you conceived your children? Who do we have here? I don't know who all has children.
Can I talk?
Yes, absolutely.
I would say inside the womb, loving, caring, protected. Outside of the womb, scary, a lot of resentment, but still, I don't know, like love. Martine, you know my situation. I don't know how to.
So do you think it's possible that those things that you're saying are outside could have transcended into the womb?
Yeah, now that I see my daughter now, I definitely I see it. I
Yeah.
definitely see it.
So a lot of times we can be made aware of things and then it's just that we're aware. Do you think, can you think of anything that you could have done differently had you had this level of awareness that you have today?
As crazy as it sounds, no.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I get that. I get that. And because a lot of times too, awareness can be good or bad. Sometimes they say when you know better, you do better. That's not always true. You got to know what to do. One of the things that I will suggest is definitely therapy. I think that all pregnant women, part of your prenatal care should be therapy. Right? Because
I
you have
agree.
a short amount of
That's one
time,
thing I
right?
did try.
But there's so many changes you could make. It can make even the smallest impact, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else have a burning share? Thank you, Lucinda. And yes, I know, boo. I know.
So
We're gonna make
Martine,
it better for our daughters going forward.
Martine, just for clarity, someone, Jackie asked, do you mean while during conception or while carrying the baby? So I'm assuming carrying in the womb. Is that what you're
The
meaning?
whole time, because if you think about it, whatever was happening before, it's not gonna just disappear because you got pregnant, right? You're bringing all of that in. So that's what I mean, like
Very true.
mental health state, your relationships, what you were going through, even your physical environment, before, during, after, I mean, all of it.
And one thing we learned in Be the Tree is even without children, we learned that your womb carries so much. Whether you have children or not, prior to having kids, you hold on to so much in your womb. So I get that. So even the conception, what was the environment like in your womb before that baby and while you were carrying it? We have Denise, and then we can take Jackie. I mean, Desiree, sorry.
Oh, Desiree. I can't even see it. Hey, Desiree.
I meant Desiree.
No, you're good. So the three things that came to me immediately when I thought about my last child was insecurity, uncertainty, and fear. And I definitely believe that that translated within the womb, and I could see from certain behaviors that my child had, and a lot of work that we needed to put in for him to feel confident in himself, not having so much fear with certain things. So it definitely the feeling. And then I went through postpartum depression 3 months after I had him, and that was the first time that I had ever experienced that. So I didn't immediately know what was happening. It wasn't until I went to my first doctor's visit, I felt like I was just talking, but what I was saying to him translated to, do you have somebody in the house with you to help? Because you sound like you're going through a lot. So I didn't even know that I was going through that, until I heard his response to what I was saying. So I think that was the environment that my child started out in, like my own insecurities translated into him having insecurities, me not feeling confident in the fact that I would be able to be a good parent to him, translated to him as him not feeling confident in himself. So wow, this conversation is striking me in ways that I didn't think that it would, because it's not until this very moment that I even thought about that. Like when I think about certain characteristics that he has started there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
and like for me, that a lot of this stuff I did not subscribe to and I didn't believe. I didn't believe that all this womb stuff. What are y'all talking about? I know one of the things they told me is when that baby comes, you have to go by that baby schedule. No, I'm taking care of this baby. The baby has to go by my schedule. And there's just so many things that we need to unlearn or just be aware of. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you're having this experience, because again, you can pass this on to your children. It's all about us providing them with what we've learned so they don't have to repeat our mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you.
Share. Thank you. So it's after 7:30 Central, after 8:30 Eastern. I know some of you have to go, but if you can stick around, stay. We're gonna follow this through. We only have a couple more points to hit, so please stay if you can. If not, have a good day. Admin is gonna drop my information in the chat. Connect with me, because I really, really, really want this to grow. I want you guys to help me with this. I'm glad that it's resonating with all of you. One of the things that I wanted to know is, does anybody else feel this way? Is this impacting you? So let's work together so we can make some changes and turn these toxic norms into healthy new norms. So thank you. Have a good day, but stick around if you can. And let's hear from Jackie now. Hey, Jackie.
Good morning, Martine. Love you.
Morning. Love
miss
you.
I miss you. I miss you. Miss you.
I miss you too.
But I'm glad you came out on the other side. I'm seeing something beautiful right there. This is like the second one. I didn't get the chance to see the first one. When it came to my son, what I'm happy about is that he was conceived and loved. He was planned. I took a whole year to clean my body out and everything to be ready to receive him. But then the man that I had planned him with created this heartache, which happened maybe about the 4th month. And then I just was very protective of my son. And so when he came, because his father was not there, his family was, but not his father, I was just trying to protect my son from his father, from feeling abandoned or rejected or whatever the case is, which didn't work. And so later on, he got involved in gangs because he was still looking for that father, now he wanted to be the daddy. He wanted to be in control. So he is a father now, and he's a great father. He's doing everything his father didn't do, and probably everything I'm not doing and everything my husband was unable to do for whatever reasons, emotional reasons, whatever. But with my daughter, even though I was in a marriage, there was some turmoil around the time that she was being born. And that turmoil persists even now. She's 29, and I would love for her to sit next to me like Asha's sitting next to you and have these conversations and be completely honest and talk about what's going on with her and stuff like that. It's taken her until almost 30 years old to trust me enough to even tell me what's happening in her life. And that is because of my reactions. And that is because I was this domineering person. And she wanted that control. Like, it was a fight for control, and it still is, even though she's not even in my household. So I have to I have to step back and just let it happen. And so that's I'm just really watching this and just wishing I had seen something like this when I was going through what I was going through with my daughter in high school. I knew nothing about her in high school. Nothing. You are blessed. And thank you, Asha. Thank you so much.
That means a lot, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you. Zakia. Hey, friend.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I want to say, like, my son was created out of, like, concern. I was worried a lot because I was a first-time mom. I wanted to do everything right. But anger, because every time I'm already a very emotional person, but like every time someone would say any little thing to me, I would get angry and start crying. Thank God he's not a crybaby, but he does have a lot of anger. What else was I? I was very loved, very loved. He's overly loved. He was the first grandchild. He was the first boy grandchild. So when they found out, I was just like spoiled and showered with a lot of love from my family. His father, I really didn't care about him, right? Like, I didn't need that. He was there, of course, but I didn't need that. And I kind of pushed him away. So then after Troy turned 1, like, so I was like, all right, I'm not going to keep trying with you. Like, you clearly is being too bossy. Because I wanted I had what is that? Like postpartum depression, but I thought people was trying to kidnap him. So I would never let Troy go to his father's house. I would never, like, I always just be like, why are they staring at him so long? Usually they just want to say he's cute or something. I was like, why is people always trying to be helpful? I'm trying to just get on this bus, get out the way. Like, you know, but they were trying to help me with my stroller and stuff. I didn't process it like that. I thought somebody, like, I was overly protective of him. So you can see that now that his father is trying to come back around. His father didn't make it easy either. He was kind of annoying, and I didn't want to have to teach him, like, Troy's your fourth kid. You need to know how to be a dad. Like, as far as being more concerned, he just wanted to be around, hovering, like, and I didn't like that. So I just kind of, you know, let him be, and I didn't pressure him like, oh, you need to be like a dad, hands on. What are you doing? If you're not gonna do anything, leave, like, from around us. So you can see now that Troy is very spoiled. He's very bossy. And he's nonverbal. He's autistic. So but you can see all of that in him. Like, he's very spoiled. He's very bossy. And he's very easily angered. He knows, like, now that he goes around his dad, he brushes him off too. Like, he's like, like, he clings to woman more. If a man energy comes around, immediately he's looking for, like he's looking to go with the female. He's like, oh, because now I have to listen, but I do the bossing around here. Like, they listen to me. So where's the females? He's looking for the females. He's very manipulative. So I definitely agree that I should have been less angry. And because my son he gets angry very fast. He throws tantrums, he hits, and I should have been less worried. And I was worried over being like, and I gave myself anxiety, and I can see that in my son too. Like, I started getting worried because I'm like, oh my God, like, towards the end, I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know how the pain is gonna be. You know, even first time people tell you about the pain, but you don't know. So I was very, like, anxious about that. So I can definitely tell he's always worried. Like, if I sometimes when I would leave, he would want to just go with me. He's not a crybaby, so he would just, like, walk towards the door with me, make a little noise, but then he'll stop because he's starting to realize, like, oh, she's coming back. Because before, I would never let anyone keep him or take him. If it wasn't my mom, I really wouldn't let no one keep him or take him, because I really thought they were trying to steal my baby. I don't know why.
How old is he now?
Troy, say hi. He's 5. Say good
Hi,
morning.
Troy.
Say hi. So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Zakia. And so again, you guys have this awareness. I don't know I don't have all the answers, right? We're just talking, we're just bringing it to the forefront so we can come up with something. But, you know, think about what you guys can do. I know that we have, like, a lot of spiritual practices. I know, like, my friend so badly wants to do an egg wash on me. And, you know, I was never open to these things, but now I'm thinking maybe I should be open to them, because, you know, we have to find solutions for these things. This is the first step. So, Amin, let's bring up that slide again. I'm sorry. So I don't know if anybody did this, but I implore you guys to take a screenshot of this. And this is just kind of a way to view your, I guess, poor behavior in your children differently. And I want to give you guys some tips on some things to do. So I asked you guys to take a screenshot of it. I don't know if anybody did it, just raise your hand, just let me know that you did it. But in the first column, we're going to put the undesirable behavior. So I gave you an example here. You can go to the next slide too. So you guys just have some more examples of things that I put. Temper, the possible source. Stop blaming everything on these kids, because a lot of it comes from us. I said my example, I had to really sit and do some self-reflection and analysis. In my example, I have a horrible temper. So why wouldn't my child act up? And then a lot of it too, I do think is innate, right? It's nature, it's her nature, because from a very young age, before she ever saw me act out, she would have fits of rage. I remember when she was a baby and she would just go through these moments where she did not want her diaper changed, and she would do this thing like to call her He-Man, and she would get so red. And I would look at her like, how does a small baby get so upset? And I knew, because if I stopped touching her, she was fine, right? So I knew it was a direct reaction to that, and it was really scary. But these are things that I saw early on, and so I had the awareness, right? But if I had the wherewithal to do something about it, maybe things would be a little different. Mental health issues, that's something that we're still exploring now. She wants a psych eval. I want her to get a psych eval, because there could be just the smallest of things that are issues. Myself, I'm a person who never was depressed, but I found myself getting depressed and not being able to bounce back. And I went to my doctor, and she's like, get on an SSRI. And I was like, no, I will not, because there's so much shame behind that. And even as a nurse, this is after nursing school, after seeing how it benefits other people. Well, now I'm finally on one little 10 milligram pill, and it has changed my life. These are things that we really, really need to start entertaining and being open to. And SSRI is a serotonin. Help me out, Lucy. It's a hormone that I think we have naturally, that if it's low in our bodies, it causes depression. And I don't know what makes it high or low, because I don't remember these things. This is not my specialty as a nurse. But yeah, just taking 10 milligrams, and you can go up to 20 milligrams. Taking 10 milligrams and some natural stuff too. I take lion's mane and rhodiola. It really, really, really has helped me. Sometimes even just changing your diet can help. So let's start, have awareness, but then start looking to solutions for these things too. So you guys can read through these things real quick. The next column is what she may need. That's one thing that I started to ask Asha. What do you need? Right? We always want to impose on them what they need, but we never get from them what they need. And that has changed our relationship a lot. Asha told me she needs me to stop yelling, and she needs me to hug her more. She's super affectionate. I'm not. So that's something that I had to change. And so now I just give her random hugs, and she gets so giddy. Like, it's something I can't understand, because I don't like when people are touching me. And she'll just be like, oh, she doesn't even need a reason. And I can just tell that that's something that she needs. And I wish that over all these years, these 18 years of her life, I gave her that more. But it all, as long as you make the change eventually, that's what matters. We're not going to beat ourselves up. So I implore y'all, you can take a screenshot of this and use it as your example to fill this out. Anybody who's a mom who's having issues with your children, or save it in the toolbox, because you may need it later. And we can go to the next slide. So I wanted your help with this, because it was really important for me to bring the issues with the cell phone, and to make you guys aware that kids they get so addicted that they will murder to get their cell phones back, right? But I think I struggled with what I wanted the toxic norm to be, because there's just so many themes that run through this session, right? Which is how I ended up a 3-part session where we're still over time. It's 8:50. But the toxic norm I came up with babies are born into toxic environments that adversely affect their emotional growth and development, as well as their quality of life into adulthood. And what I think I would like to see, I don't know, I'm still working on this, is increased awareness of the impact the environment in and outside of the womb has on human development, not on a human. Implementation of preventative measures, as well as measures to educate and assist pregnant women. And one of those things is therapy in the prenatal period. So if anybody's interested on working on this initiative with me, please take a screenshot and help me to fine tune this. I would really, really appreciate it. And we can go to let's give them a second to screenshot. I don't know if anybody else needs it. Let me know. We're going to give you a second to screenshot. And you can put in the chat too if you're willing to help me out with this. I know we have a lot of birth workers and stuff in Woo, or if you want to take the information too for somebody that you know could be interested, you want to suggest them to me, please do so in the chat. Okay, next slide. These are just some tips that I have you guys. 10 ways to improve your mother-daughter relationship. Number one, put your mask on first. And that's talking about doing the work that we're talking about now. We can't be anything to each other until we get ourselves together. So the unpacking, the identifying what it is as a parent you could be doing to contribute to your children's behavior. As daughters, especially grown daughters, put your mask on first. Get the therapy that you need before you go in deep with your mother. Therapy too is very, very important. I think one of the things that I wanted to say on the slides as a healthy habit that I would like to see created is family counseling. I would love to see that as a household norm. Family counseling, just like every year you go to the doctor for a checkup, check in on the family. There's always going to be drama and misunderstandings. Therapy should be a normal way of life. It should be part of our healthcare. Number two, see her as a person first. That is so important. We see each other as mother and daughters. What can I suck out of you? What are you to me? But you're a person. As a daughter, my mother existed before I was alive. What did she sacrifice for me? You know, let me take that into consideration. As daughter to mother. As a mother, who is my child outside of this house? Who is she when she leaves? What does she want outside of what I want from her? Number three, when you're talking and we're listening to each other, listen to understand, not to come up with a rebuttal. Listen to understand. Number four, accept without trying to change. And that is one of the biggest things for a mom and the hardest thing for a mom. You created an individual that you're going to send out into the world and they're going to be their own person. All you can do is rear and suggest. Accept them without trying to change them. Have faith in what you poured into them and know that they're going to go through seasons. Number five, respect and accept her individuality. Almost the same thing. But yes, this is my daughter. Yes, I can sit and identify so many ways that she's like me, but in so many ways she's different from me. And that was hard for me to accept or even see. There's so many things where I'm like, I just don't understand, but it just is what it is. Asha is so different from me in so many ways. As much as she's the same, she's so different. So respecting that and accepting it is changing our relationship. It's still a struggle. I'm still going through it. Tell her what you need and seek the unfulfilled elsewhere. We put too much into one human being. A person will never be our everything. They can't. Our mothers are still human beings. There's certain things that they won't be able to give us, but we have grandmothers and we have aunties and we have other mother figures, right? And we have mentors. Stop putting so much pressure onto your mother or your daughter. Be the stronger link. This is really, really important. And this is for all relationships. A lot of times when a person is showing weakness, they are like putty in front of you. You just want to join in and melt in there with them. No, let's stop doing that. When somebody is weak, they're cussing us out. Be strong. Be there for them. Be patient. Try to understand why they're coming so far out of character. Why is it the norm for us to get down there with them? What's that Michelle Obama says? When they go low, we go high. It's the hardest thing to do, but it's so necessary within our interpersonal relationships. That's so important for a mother-daughter relationship. Number 8, don't expect the good, reward the good. We have so many expectations, and those expectations shadow what the other person may be going through. So let's not expect good behavior. We can reward good behavior, but we have to expect these people to to go through their development. And that's good, bad, and ugly. Number 9, this is for those who are not as affectionate. Hug more, and even if you are, hug more and yell less. Make hugging and loving your priority. Some parents, they discipline too much. Everything is about discipline, 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 and they don't show love. They can't say, I love you. They can't say, I'm proud of you. We need to release that and do better. Number 10, get out of your comfort zone and speak her love language. A lot of times we don't have the same love language, but when you're in a relationship, it's give and take. You don't have to lose yourself, you don't have to compromise yourself, but there does have to be some level of compromise. So let's do that. Let's make sure that we identify that person's individuality, what they need, and we pour into them. That's your mother, that's your daughter. And with that, I am complete. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Another thing that I want to go into with these resources, it is so important that we understand the developmental changes of these children into their teenage years, because there's many actions that we are disciplining incorrectly. We are not even aware that they are a natural part of a child's growth, right? Educate yourselves. How to Behave So Your Children Will Too by Sal Severe. This is a great book. This book really helped me to look at myself and be like, okay, my child is simply mimicking me. I'm punishing her for mimicking me. These kids are sponges. So that's kind of like for younger kids. Ages and Stages, A Parent's Guide to Normal Child Development by Charles E. Schaefer. That's a good one too. And number 3, this one is deep. This one, it may be a hard read for somebody. I do think that they did take layman into consideration, but it goes a little deeper into psychology and the actual brain of a child. But The Primal Teen, What the New Discoveries About the Teenage Brain Tell Us About Our Kids by Barbara Strauch. It's a very, very, very enlightening book. Please, guys, take a screenshot of this and take this seriously. We have to stop subscribing to the old ways that are not working, and we need to educate ourselves and know what to expect out of these kids. We need to be able to differentiate between normal behavior and abnormal behavior. Okay, so I had no special offer for part 2 or part 3 because I didn't know there was going to be a part 2 or part 3, but for part 1, we did offer a mother-daughter counseling session, a 1-hour mother-daughter coaching session, and not counseling, I'm sorry, coaching session, and Omena L was the winner. So I don't think I saw her in here today, but somebody let her know that she won.
I'll text her. Let her know.
And here's my contact information. Again, I am all about community and joining forces. There are power in numbers. And I'm telling you, my initiative and these sessions, the stuff that I bring up is too big for just me. I need your help. So anybody who's interested in partnering with me about anything I've ever spoken about, I appreciate it. Here's my contact information, phone number, the Facebook page for Touch the Rebellion. That's the child sexual abuse prevention nonprofit. And the email that you can use is info.touchtherebellion@gmail.com. We're also going to drop those that information in the chat and to make it easier for you guys to get it, or you can screenshot this. Love offering and donations. Zelle or QuickPay using soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com. Cash App $ Spirit of a Woman. And if you would like those donations to go to Asha so she can have a little college money, you can use code #646MM. Your donations are appreciated and respected. We work hard on these sessions, the facilitators do. So please, always, even if it's a couple dollars, if everybody donated a couple dollars, it would go a long way. And also for the admin who volunteer their time, and to keep Spirit of a Woman programming moving, because it's just so important to the community. And I would love to see this just grow. You also have another option to deepen your relationship and put your money where your mouth is. Commit to monthly automated love offerings. You have 3 choices, $25, $50, or 4 choices, $75 or $100. Those links are going to be dropped in the chat. Also, you just choose a link and that will come out of your bank account. You don't even have to think about it every month with the rest of your bills. Consider it. Because again, we want to see Spirit of a Woman programming grow. We want Woo to be, I would love for Woo to be like on TV, because I think it's just so necessary. Coming up next, Monday. Oh God, it's already Monday. I don't want to go to work. Monday, August 8th Add Water for Growth, facilitated by the lovely Dion C. Monsanto. She's a great facilitator. Those of you who are new or who only come because you know I'm facilitating, let's support the other facilitators. Dion is a wonderful facilitator. Her sessions have helped me so much. I even have them saved to go back to. And then tomorrow, I've never witnessed Omena, but the winner of the coaching session, she is facilitating Tuesday, August 9th session, Omena L, entitled, Are You Eating for Supreme Wellness? I know I'm not. So support all the WOO facilitators. Make this your morning habit, even if you know you can't watch, put your earplugs on and listen in. And as always, if you join the virtual group, you can watch the playbacks. So looking forward to Dion and Omena this week.
All right, so we want to welcome all of our new WOO Nation members and invite you all to come back, learn, elevate, and ascend with us moving forward. So we'll also tell you how you can register to get the updates, to get the notifications that we're going to be on and live. Thank you again. So if you didn't know, our schedule is as follows. We have our live Zoom workshops Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 8:30 or 9 if you're here with Martine or Shawnee. And then we have Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 7:30. And then you can also stream us on Facebook. And then if you want to get text message alerts, you'll text WOO Nation to 74121. And where are you without your swag? You got to represent our WOO Nation wherever you go. So you can go to bit.ly WOO swag and grab your tote bags, your journals, water bottles, your coffee for your morning sessions. Whatever you need, we got you at this swag store of ours. And thank you, everyone who joined us today, and those of you who join us on other mornings. We appreciate the community. We appreciate the love. So please stay in touch. Like I said before, you can register for upcoming sessions by going to bit.ly/wakeupmovement. You can visit us on Facebook. We have a private page, and then we have our public group where you can look at the playbacks. We're also on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. We are building up our YouTube collection. And then if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. So now we are going to unmute everyone so that you can shower Martine and Asha with your love and appreciation for today's session, which was amazing, authentic, transparent, inspiring, and all the things. So thank you all for coming back for 3 parts. Yeah. Is she on that phone? Is she on that phone?
No, she's sleeping because she doesn't listen to her mama. We got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep.
Yes. And thank you all for doing that with us when you're on Central Time. So you go back to sleep right after this. All right, everybody.
Thank you. Love you, Martine and Asha. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your transparency.
As usual. Very healing. God bless you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, God. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the love and the blessings.
We did get up late and missed it, but I'm going to catch that playback and we're going to have a discussion about it, and I'm going to reach out. I'm very excited about this work. I'm very excited about seeing you both on screen together, and more power to you from one mother of a daughter to another mother of a daughter. My daughter's here next to me, but she don't, she don't want to get on the camera, but
Absolutely. Partnership in this is so important to me, guys. We see your forehead.
Wonderful.
Thank you again, Martine and Asha.
Thank you. Love y'all.
Good job.
Have a good week.